Tonight on TV5 News, the recent cold spell has raised concerns about how to fight off its ill effects. Mark Despotakis reports live. Also, find out which Pittsburgh landmark gets a much-needed facelift. Details straight ahead.
Plus, what's the penalty for driving under the age? Find out coming up. And just who is the gun-toting grandma from Albany? Information straight ahead.
Jen Bevavino will just tell us how bad the weather is going to be over the next week. The chilly details ahead.
Derek Pida's sports machine is revving up to fill us in on the many scores and highlights from around the nation. All this and more as TV5 News brings coverage closer to home.
This is TV5 News, bringing coverage closer to home.
Along with the recent weather changes, the area has been plagued with a cold spell.
Mark Despotakis is live in the Satellite Center with ways to protect yourself from the harsh winter cold. Mark.
Well, if you ventured out today or in the last few days, you know it is very cold out there. My crew and I ventured our way out to the Clarion Hospital today to see what you can do to protect yourself from the elements. Take a look.
Well, the cold weather, as the temperatures cool down, the colder they get, the more the blood will constrict. The blood vessels will constrict to save the heat for the inner organs.
Clarion Hospital's Randy Bowser made the point that if you're going outside, make sure you bundle up.
I would recommend dressing in layers as much as possible. Of course, the outer layers, the scarves, the tassel hats or some form of a hat, gloves, and coats. Wearing a sweater, that way if you happen to go into a classroom that's a little warmer, you could remove the sweater, maybe extra clothing if needed.
People are being smart and aren't venturing out in the cold without proper protection. The hospital hasn't seen many weather-related cases.
We haven't seen so many at this time, but that would be something that would be sporadic, determined by what the weather pattern is. Okay. And again, most of the time, people watch the weather forecast and it tells them what the weather's going to be like. So most of the people do bundle up.
Well, that is good advice, bundle up. And just to show you that I really do this, I have my hat I wore today, and my gloves, my scarf, my coat. So that proves to you that I really did do this. So you all should do this to get out there, and if you have to be out there, stay warm. And a couple more bits of advice if you are going to be heading out, because it is going to be cold. You're going to be switching between cold and warm environments. So to protect yourself from getting a cold, here are a few things you can do. Get rest. That helps your immune system. Fight off any viruses you may have. Drink fluids. That helps to flush out toxins from your body. And humidify the air. That relieves congestion. Even taking a hot shower will help to relieve congestion also. So those are some things to help you get through the rest of this very, very cold winter season. Live in the Satellite Center, I'm Mark Despotakis. Back to you.
Thanks, Mark. Taking a look at news closer to home. If the Clarion County Commissioners haven't had enough trouble deciding where to move some county offices, now they have another opinion. Gordon Rice stood up the end of Friday's meeting and offered the county free land to build on. Rice told the Derrick that he would donate 2 acres of Clarion Township land just east of Clarion Borough off Route 322. Rice said there is room for an 8,500 square foot building with ample parking. Commissioner David Wagner asked Rice if the county would have the option to buy more land in the future. Rice agreed to the proposal as long as he still owned the land at that time. And funeral arrangements are now set for the Kane police officer shot to death during a traffic stop on Saturday. Friends of 46-year-old Stephen Michael German will be received Wednesday evening in the Kane Area High School auditorium. A procession through town is scheduled for 9:30 p.m. German was well known in Kane as a 24-year veteran of the police department. Police say German wounded the driver as he fell. 18-year-old Timothy James Williams of Countersport remains at UPMC Presbyterian Hospital in Pittsburgh. We will update you as his condition improves or deteriorates.
Taking a look at regional news, an abortion clinic in Pittsburgh received a letter in the mail this morning with a note that said, "Anthrax, have a nice death." Hazardous materials crews blocked off 5th Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh as police and the FBI investigated. No anthrax was found and no one was hurt. Executive Director of the clinic, Women's Health Services Incorporated, Mary Ellen Tunney, says it was the 16th letter received at a U.S. abortion clinic since last Thursday. All the letters have been hoaxes, but precautionary measures are being taken at this time.
Authorities prepare to extradite an Ocean Township teen in the shooting death of his mother. 17-year-old Rainbow Michael Hefner remains in jail today for allegedly shooting his mother 6 times after she refused to let him go out a day after his 17th birthday. Friday, police found Anna Hefner's body in her apartment buried under a pile of clothes and hidden by a couch. Monmouth County prosecutors are preparing to charge the teen with murder at this time. And police are investigating 4 separate incidents of racial vandalism in Northumberland County over the weekend. Cole Township police said 3 homes had racial slurs spray painted on them. A similar incident was reported at Lourdes High School with damages totaling about $800. No arrests have been made in connection with the vandalism.
2 prisoners were hit by a Pennsylvania motorist picking up trash along Interstate 80 near New Jersey yesterday. Police say 45-year-old Alan Zewan of Nicholson was driving his car when he hit the 2 men. Both victims were taken to the hospital and treated for injury. Zewan has been cited for careless driving at this time. A girl missing since 1985 has been declared legally dead, but police are still looking for her. Today marked the 14th anniversary of Sherry Mahan's disappearance from Cabot, 25 miles north of Pittsburgh. The 8-year-old stepped off her school bus but never made it to her house only 150 yards away. The only lead that investigators have is a report of a blue van with a skier painted on its side seen nearby. State police want anyone with information to call 724-284-8100 or find a child at 1-800-I-AM-LOST.
The U.S. Department of Justice has decided to steer clear of the legal disputes still swirling around the impeached Pennsylvania Supreme Court Justice Ralph Larson. A court ruled today to let a ruling stand in which the state senators who convicted Larsons of abusing prescription drugs cannot be sued. However, a decision was made for the judges and the court officials who took away Larson's medical license to defend themselves on trial. We'll let you know as information becomes available. New developments in the case of a missing Bethel Park librarian. Police are now investigating whether money also was missing from the Bethel Park Library. Dorothy Corbett vanished last Tuesday after telling colleagues she was leaving work to attend 2 meetings. The meetings turned out to be fictitious. We'll keep you informed as the story unfolds.
A trial is underway for a teenager accused in the 1996 axe murders of a former Pennsylvania minister and his wife. Opening arguments began today for 17-year-old Sean Rich. Rich is accused of killing Reverend Frederick Mathis and his wife Cleta during a robbery attempt at their Indiana home 3 years ago. The teen faces potentially damaging testimony from friend 19-year-old Paul Brightman, who faced the same charges during his trial last month. Brightman accepted a plea bargain in which he must testify against Rich and spend the next 65 years in prison. The trial is scheduled to last up to 2 weeks. Members of a suburban Pittsburgh school board were outraged when their district celebrated winning a prestigious award with a student-free expensive party. Gateway School District in Monroeville had a dance with a cash bar and live band to celebrate winning the Blue Ribbon Award from the U.S. Department of Education. Board President Greg Nemec said cookies and Kool-Aid wouldn't have been a real celebration. The board member Tim Varner said alcohol had no place at the school-funded event.
Virginia-based Dominion Resources has purchased Consolidated Natural Gas of Pittsburgh in a $6.3 billion deal. The transaction makes the combined company the nation's 4th largest electric and natural gas utility, serving nearly 4 million retail customers in 5 states. Until now, Dominion has derived nearly all its earning from its electric utility, Virginia Power. Consolidated Natural Gas is the parent company of Virginia Natural Gas. A new plan is in effect to reduce the population of cats throughout the city of Pittsburgh. A team of humane workers in Pittsburgh caught and sterilized 68 wild cats as part of a plan to reduce their population through attrition. The program catches the cats that are unsuitable as pets and spays or neuters them before turning them back on the streets. About 10,000 cats are estimated to be roaming throughout the Pittsburgh area, and workers hope that this plan will keep the feline population under control.
A New York firm will be the lead architect on an expanded David L. Lawrence Convention Center. City and county leaders unveiled yesterday the new design by Raphael Vinoli Architects. The new design will substantially increase the size of the downtown convention center's exhibition space and will feature a sloping metal roof. The expansion is part of a plan to revitalize Pittsburgh and its riverfronts. WEAE-AM, Pittsburgh's all-sports talk station, formerly known as WTAE, has been sold again. After having 4 owners in the last 18 months, WEAE is being sold to ABC for $5 million. J-Corps Communications Incorporated of Covington, Kentucky, signed a definite sales agreement with ABC earlier today. The sale occurred after WEAE lost the broadcast rights of the Pittsburgh Steelers games to Pittsburgh's top-rated rock station, WDVE-FM.
And coming up on TV5, we'll have news and views from the world of sports with Derek Pida. The TV5 Weather Center is in full gear with a wintry forecast. See what you'll be missing while you're away on spring break.
But first, Christy Mort will give us an on-scene report regarding the new recreation center on the Clarion University campus. It's all ahead as TV5 News brings coverage closer to home.
Standing out from the crowd is easy when you stop in at Fashion Bug, located in the Clarion Mall. Whether you're looking for junior trendy, girls, or fashion for women, they have it all with many different styles. With our newly expanded shoe and accessory department, you're surely to find that special touch to enhance that new outfit. And if you have a fashion question, our experts are here to help. That's Fashion Bug, located in the Clarion Mall, just off Exit 9 of Interstate 80. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. Sunday from noon till 5.
Fill your tummy with the things that are yummy at the Donut Hut. Our menu not only offers a variety of donuts, but many new items such as bagels and English muffins. The Donut Hut also offers a daily lunch special for only $1.95. Stop by on Mondays and receive a small coffee and 2 donuts for 99 cents. Thursdays offer a 10% discounts to students. That's the Donut Hut, located on Main Street in Clarion. Open Monday through Saturday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and on Sundays from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tell them that you saw this commercial on TV5 and receive a free donut at the place with donuts and a whole lot more.
Welcome back to TV5 News. Since October of 1998, construction has been ongoing for a new recreation center for Clarion University students. Christy Mort reports on the latest developments in the continued construction process. Christy?
Student Rec Center is taking shape. University Director Dave Tomeo answered questions regarding its progress.
Two things we'll see real quickly here is we'll see the rest of the steel go up. They set the first truss yesterday, and that's obviously right at the roof line. And they're starting close to Gemmel, which is the north side of the building, and then they're working their way south. And I think over the next couple of weeks, we're just going to see the whole outline of the building start to take shape. And then shortly after that, the block workers will come in, and then they'll start laying the cement block and the brickwork. But we're just going to start to see the whole building just sort of build from the ground up from this point.
With the construction on schedule and warm weather approaching, the work should continue full speed ahead. Students can look forward to seeing the completion sometime in the early fall.
We're still hoping for the building to be completed in the middle of September. Like I said, up to this point, we really haven't lost any time. And it's just a matter now, if we don't have a real rut spring and can get in and get the concrete for the decking poured. Now I think we're going to stay right on schedule, and the middle of September seems like a real good time. At that point, we'll start to furnish the building. So I'm going to estimate that from the time that it's completed until the time that we can actually occupy it, maybe as much as a month.
The site of the new rec center, Christy Mort, TV5 News.
Thanks, Christy. According to the Clarion Call, the 14 schools in the Pennsylvania state system of higher education raised almost $30 million in private funds last year. The private donors, which includes alumni, corporations, and foundations, contributed $29.1 million to the state system in 1998. The $30 million represents a 19% increase over the past year. Indiana University of Pennsylvania raised the largest amount of funds in 1998. Clarion University, along with 5 other schools, doubled their yearly total since 1993. F. Eugene Dixon, Jr., chairman of the Board of Governors and the Fund of the Advancement of the State System of Higher Education, Incorporated, said the growth in private support is a strong endorsement of the state system of higher education.
Women's Stories is the theme for Clarion University's annual Women's Conference, scheduled Friday and Saturday, March 26th and 27th in the Gemmel Student Complex. A presentation by Hilda Ward will open the conference at 1:30 p.m. on Friday, March 26th. Journaling and Peer Health Education, Helping Students to Reach In and Out is the title of Ward's program. Keynote speaker Jean Marie Lucas will begin Saturday's event at 9 a.m. with her depiction of the strengths and weaknesses of the people and places she encounters. Laskus is a columnist for the Washington Post magazine. Free child care is available and will include creative Saturday workshops for the children. Snacks and lunches must be brought for each child. Registration should be made at the Continuing Education Office at Still Hall or by calling 226-2277.
County Commissioner Sally Minnick said she needs more information before allowing the downtown Clarion Park to be used for the Autumn Leaf Festival or the Spring Fling. On Minnick's motion, the Clarion Area Chamber of Business and Industry's request to use the park was removed from Monday's agenda. In response to ask why these requests were not being considered on Monday, Minnick said it was to make sure that everything was taken care of after Autumn Leaf Festival last year. She also had questions about the Chamber's second annual Spring Festival, sponsored by Mega Rock Radio in Brookville, scheduled for April 25th through the 1st of May. Since the March 8th Commissioners' meeting is canceled, the request for the use of the park won't be considered until the meeting on March 22nd.
Convicted killer Lisa Michelle Lambert is speaking on television tonight, proclaiming her innocence in the 1991 murder of a 16-year-old girl. Lambert is accused of killing 16-year-old Lori Sho in an apparent romantic rivalry 8 years ago. Lambert claims that she's the victim of a police conspiracy. Lambert tells her story tonight at 8 o'clock on ABC's 2020. Police commented that the interview provides overwhelming evidence that Lambert killed Snow.
And coming up after the break, Jen Bevavino, who is in for the ill Patty Boberg, is here with your Clarion area weather.
Plus, in a somewhat amusing incident, a Virginia driver was pulled over, but she wasn't over the alcohol limit. She was well under another. Find out exactly what happened as TV5 News brings coverage closer to home.
If you're tired of those boring Saturday nights, then head on down to the Bowl Arena, where we have Rock and Bowl every Friday from 9:30 to 12:30 and Saturday from 11 to 2. And if bowling's not for you, then head on over to our game room with 8 pool tables and an extensive selection of arcade games. The Bowl Arena is also a fun place for birthdays with bumper bowling for kids and league play for adults. That's the Bowl Arena, located just 1 mile east of Clarion on Route 322. Phone 764-3471. Opens daily at noon.
At the Carpet Barn, we love it when people walk all over us because we know our carpet is designed not just for style and color, but to stand up to the toughest traffic. It's soft enough for the baby to crawl on, yet stain-resistant enough for the pets to run on. And its beauty will last for years. So for the walk of your life, come to the Carpet Barn. We have your best interests.
And welcome back to TV5 News. And as promised, the lovely Jen Bevavino is live in the Weather Center with conditions affecting the surrounding area. Jen?
Brief look at Clarion's current and extended weather conditions. Today was a beautiful day outside, not a cloud in sight, a bit cold though, warmer than this weekend although, didn't have to wear as many layers. Looking at today's high, we notice a high of 33 today. Later in the week we'll be going up in temperature. We'll be seeing a high in the upper 40s later in the week. Taking a look at our satellite projection. You'll notice some flurries will be moving towards us later in the week, towards the western part of the state. We'll be looking at some snow showers on Thursday and on Friday later this week. Taking a look at Wednesday's 4-day planner, on Wednesday, we'll be seeing a bit of sunshine, some clouds though. We'll be seeing a high of 36, a low of 24. On Thursday, some snow showers, just a little bit, just a light sprinkling on the ground. A high of 38, a low of 29. And for Friday, we'll be seeing more snow showers with a high of 43, a low of 29. And for Saturday, the sun is peeking through once again through those clouds. We'll be seeing a high of 48 and a low of 29. And that's Clarion's current and extended weather forecast. Keep in mind Mark Despotakis' suggestions on keeping you warm this winter. Back to you.
Thanks, Jen. When it comes to drinking at the workplace, alcoholics are the big problem, right? Wrong. Instead, it's the Monday Night Football fan and the lunchtime cocktail drinker. A new study finds the light to moderate drinkers are to blame for more lost productivity than alcoholics. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation says the so-called non-dependent drinker causes 60% of work problems related to alcohol. The real problem drinkers cause only 40% of the trouble.
Police in Manassas, Virginia thought they were pulling over a drunk driver yesterday. However, the driver in this case wasn't drunk. She was underage and unlicensed. A 12-year-old Virginia girl is faced with a grounding effect. A grounding effect from her mother, that is. Police say the girl had taken the van while her mother was at work. According to state police, the van was spotted traveling erratically for approximately 10 miles before they decided to pull the vehicle over. And as with all states, it is against the law in Virginia to operate a motor vehicle at this age. Fortunately, there were no injuries or property damages. Charges are pending against the driver at this time.
This time of year is a busy one in the world of sports. Derek Pida is here to help us make sense of the increased amounts of highlights and lowlights.
News travels fast. That's why you need the speed and accuracy of a news team that brings coverage closer to home. Every Tuesday and Wednesday night, join TV5 News for Clarion's only live local newscast on television at 8. Tune in for the latest in regional, state, and national news. Plus, with our newspaper exchange partner, the Clarion News, teaming up to bring coverage closer to home every Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Clarion's only live local newscast on television at 8 is here on TV5.
Hi, I'm Derek Pida with TV5 Sports. Some sad news in the football world today. Minnesota Vikings offensive coordinator Chip Myers has died of an apparent heart attack. WCCO Radio is reporting Myers was at his home when it happened. He was named Minnesota Vikings offensive coordinator just a month ago after Brian Billick left to take the Ravens head coaching job. Chip Myers was 53 years old. The Pittsburgh Steelers are talking to quarterback Jeff Hostetler as a possible backup for Cordell Stewart. Hostetler says he talked with team officials at the annual NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis over the weekend. Hostetler was released by the Redskins last week. In baseball news, the Pittsburgh Pirates appear to be close to completing a trade with the Arizona Diamondbacks that would send second baseman Tony Womack and outfielder Al Martin to Arizona for outfielder Bernard Gilkey. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette claims the only thing holding up the deal is Bernard Gilkey approving what would be the terms of his contract if he were traded to Pittsburgh. The Pirates' newest acquisition to date has reported to spring training in Bradenton, Florida. Shortstop Pat Mears turned down a 3-year, $11 million offer from the Minnesota Twins before signing a 1-year, $1 million deal with the Pittsburgh Pirates. In pro basketball news, Allen Iverson scored 37 points to help the 76ers knock off the Cleveland Cavaliers 106-97. 12 of Iverson's points came in a 3.5-minute span of the third quarter. Matt Geiger chipped in with 18 points for Philadelphia. In college basketball, the Pittsburgh Panthers face number 11 Miami today. The Panthers have had injuries to key players in the past few weeks and are looking to players like Stephen Flores to step in and play bigger roles. Flores, a 6'8" reserve, gave the Panthers a down-to-the-wire victory over Boston College this past weekend. In hockey news, the Pittsburgh Penguins ended their 3-game losing streak with a 4-1 victory over the Phoenix Coyotes last night. Stu Barnes had 2 goals and an assist. The victory is the Penguins' 9th in a row at home. It is the longest home winning streak in the NHL this season. The Penguins are now in 5th place in the Eastern Conference, 1 point ahead of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Westminster College is in search of a new athletic director after Joe Fusco has retired after 14 years with that title. Fusco, who also coached the football team for nearly 20 years, won 4 NAIA Division II national championships. Jim Daffler, the school's assistant athletic director, appears to be the front runner to succeed Fusco as athletic director. Finally, in sports, Little League Baseball Incorporated has announced the addition of Bosnia as its 99th team. The league president says he hopes that the game of baseball can bring some peace and goodwill to an area of ethnic conflict. Bosnian officials agreed to let organizers convert a soccer field into a baseball field. For TV5 Sports, I'm Derek Pida.
Thanks, Derek. If you don't have travel plans during the upcoming winter break, then get your calendars ready as Nani Lombard gives you entertainment alternatives to fight the winter blues. Nani?
In this week. Tomorrow, February 24th, the Harlem Globetrotters are coming to Tippin Gymnasium at Clarion University. The show will begin at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are $15 for adults, $10 for children, and $10 for Clarion University students with a valid ID. Tickets can be purchased at the Gemble Tickets office, the Clarion branch of the S&T Bank, National City Bank, New Bethlehem Bank, and at Pizza Hut. For more ticket information, you can call 814-226-2459. Also, tomorrow night, the Clarion University Activities Board is holding an open mic night at the upstairs Gemmel Rotunda at 8 p.m. All students are welcome to attend. A student art show is still on display at Michelle's Cafe on Main Street in Clarion. The art can be seen throughout the entire month of February. Finally, local Clarion residents and students will soon be able to enjoy going to the movies at the new Distinta Theaters. This new entertainment option will be open on Friday, February 26th. The new theaters are located inside the Clarion Mall. There are 7 auditoriums featuring digital stereo sound, stadium seating with reclining seats, and a large selection snack bar. Ticket prices have not yet been determined. Well, that's all for entertainment news tonight. Nani Lombard, TV5 News.
Thanks, Nani. Now for one final look on your Clarion area forecast, here's Jen.
Taking a final look at your Clarion area forecast, tonight cloudy with a chance of light snow, little or no accumulation possible, low of 15. For Wednesday, cloudy with a chance of light snow, mainly in the morning, high of 28. And let's look at your local forecast. And now back to Christy and Dave.
Thanks, Jen. Her neighbors call her the gun-toting grandma, and for good reason. 79-year-old Hildegard von Waldenberg used a 20-gauge shotgun last week to scare away a tree trimming crew near her home in Albany, New York. Many local people are hailing this grandma a hero, for they say the town's work crew has been cutting trees indiscriminately to allow a road to be widened. State police take a different view. They arrested von Waldenberg after the incident and charged her with menacing. If convicted, she could get a year in jail.
That about wraps it up for this week's report. Tune in tomorrow with Tracy Campbell and Christy Herman as they continue to bring you local, state, and national coverage.
For Chrissy Dezort, Mark Despotakis, Christy Mort, Jen Bevavino, Derek Pida, Nani Lombard, and the entire TV5 News team, I'm Dave Marsh. Have a safe and enjoyable break.